Hey everyone, welcome to Valrex Gaming. Today we're doing a Polaris guide. This is in follow-up to my last video, which was all about the new Solaris skin, which as you can see here in the main menu, the Solaris skin has taken over the main menu, showing off the new aesthetics that they're bringing to the game. It is an awesome skin. If you have a video that you want me to do, this video also happened to be a recommendation in the comment section. So let me know what videos you'd like to see and kind of how you'd like me to do it, because I'm open to feedback. Anyways, let's get into a Polaris guide. Now I'm sticking with the normal skin today because this strategy guide is in for the long haul so that you can see this until they do a rework of Polaris. So if you love the Solaris skin though, you should definitely check it out. Now here on turn 0, let me just tell you about Polaris as a tribe. They are the Snowball tribe. That's how I've always called them. They are the best at late game, but you can only get there, let's take a look at the tech tree, with the trade technology Ice Bank, because that is when their economy becomes truly unstoppable, because it's not reliant upon having to go and set up sawmills. It's all based on how much ice you generate. And you get 2 stars for every 20 tiles that are frozen on the map. And it's pretty awesome. That and their technology, Polarism, which has glide, is super game changing for them, but because that's a tier 3 tech, and usually you're kind of doing hunting and riding and some of these other technologies, you're kind of getting Polarism last. And maybe even polar warfare, and that's why a lot of people don't use ice fortresses. But sledding and knights with glide are the fastest units in the game. Knights can move 6 across water, just they can fly, right, with this technology. So you have to build up to it, that's the thing. Now, the first move that you make with Moonies, they have auto freeze. They used to be that you have to move and then freeze. So auto freeze is an awesome thing that they get to have now. I always like to try and move them across ice because you get 2 movement. You can see right here, I have the options to move to 2 different spaces, or to 2 spaces away because of the ice. Whereas if I move to land, it's going to lock them in. So I'm going to move also to freeze water and potentially other spots. So I move and bam, now I've found a village. Perfect. I'm going to now train a warrior, but you want to take a look at some of your circumstances. I've actually taken another Moonie in some cases, not a lot of them, but sometimes in a crowded map, Moonies are really good because they just lock down your opponent altogether. And if you don't get ganged up on, like I've had happen sometimes, you can survive. But in this case, we're going to take a warrior to help us explore. Now at the next turn, slide onto this village, and notice that it's just a little tidbit that you gain as you play the game. You can check one of the guides that I have, the natural skills that you gain. Always moving diagonal so that you can expose the most map. All right, we've met Quetzali now. So before we take this village, we are going to take a technology that's going to help us level up. Something else, another strategy that I have seen is that instead of getting a technology, you throw down outposts because you automatically have access to something that gives you 1 population. And because we're here on the ice, I don't know if I want to take it because this Quetzali shield is likely going to try and break our ice. And it's going to lose the networking that you get from having outposts. And assuming that because he came from that direction, I don't know if I can snag any cities away from him, but we're gonna try. So I'm going to grab hunting right now, and we're going to take a workshop just because we want to make sure we are bringing in stars. Something else that you don't get to see right there, but when you capture a city, it does freeze tiles. So you can use capturing cities and even growing borders to expand ice. And there you go, we've lost all our ice because this shield right here decided, hey, I don't want any of that here. So we're gonna keep trying to find a village, and I'm gonna actually move him to freeze because I don't want him bugging my city. And Moonies are super weak. They're super exposed. I'm actually going to take another Mooney right here so that I can lock down this defender. Man, we've just met everyone, but there you go. Mooney's, again, super exposed units. But we're going to run away and get free hits. It's an awesome thing about freezing. Free hits without retaliation. I actually think we'll grab ice fishing right here, because I could use it to level up this city and maybe even get some knowledge. Oh, he's kind of got locked in that corner over there. We're probably actually gonna lose this Mooney now. He's probably gonna move up and hit him. Hey, he didn't run away. That's great. Because what we're gonna do now, the true power of the Mooney, I just froze all those units. They're done. And that swordsman, which could have been a big problem for a lot of people, is no longer our problem. We're gonna freeze that shield so he stays in place. And you know what, before I capture this village, because this village is super surrounded by fruit, we'll take that before upgrading. And we'll be ready to take resources on our next turn. In fact, we'll grab a lighthouse so that we can take resources and even come out ahead. And we're gonna start chipping away at that guy. All right, now I wanna show you how potent Polaris is on attack. My favorite thing is putting Moonies down and freezing people on cities. Now, not only is that unit skipped a turn, but basically that city is skipped a turn when it comes to generating a new unit short of a giant. And there you go. We've got our siege on. Now, something that I will say is Polaris benefits a ton from border growth because it gives you that ice freezing. Especially like right here, I'm gonna be able to get all of this frozen, but I'm not going to yet because I'm not prepared to go and start fighting a bunch of people over there. All right, we're gonna take it now. So, see, freeze all that. All right, now we got the Gami, which is a super cool and unique super unit, moving with auto freeze, and they hit like a truck. All right, we're gonna grab the ice bank before it gets too expensive for us. And we're gonna just lock everything down. All right, we're gonna slap down the ice bank. Now, I prefer to put the ice bank in places I know are guaranteed safe, and I like to put them on water tiles because you can't put too much stuff on water tiles. And just like that, we are making 8 stars per turn because of the amount of tiles we have frozen. Now, Rider Roads or Rider Ice works really well for Polaris because not only do they get roads and the ability to use them, unlike Semantic who doesn't get roads and they just have creep and boosted units, you also get ice and glide, which we will see here in a moment. All right, now we're gonna get Polarism. See, now this allows our Gami to go 2 spaces. And we can abuse our riders that much more. It's truly amazing to be able to hit and run without getting any retaliation damage and get away out of range to where you really will never take damage from anything. It's really a blessing. Now, let's break out Polaris's best unit, the sleds, what is widely regarded as their best unit. They have the speed and hit like a swordsman, and they have escape, so they are absolutely wonderful. And we'll play around with the ice fortress too, so you can see how it works. All right, we also got a knight. You'll see how knights can just snipe in from the back line. And you can also build roads in neutral spaces because Gamis can use roads. And bam, now we froze an enemy and we're taking shots. All right, so right there, my first Ice Fortress took some damage, and I do like to use Ice Fortresses defensively because they have 20 health. and a defensive 3. They can't fortify, but they're really good at that. Again, I wish they had better range because they're supposed to be like the bombers, but they aren't. And their attack is not splash damage, so they're just outclassed by bombers if a bomber's on the ground. But I'm using it to help me siege here. And now we have an ice bank that's just rolling in the dough for us as well. I'll grab a super unit down there, but look, it is at level 7 making 14 stars, and this is a 256 map. Lakes, or continents. Continents. But with that many players, it feels like lakes. So if you give them the path, they will follow it. Right there, snipe in. There you go. Very potent units with the speed of lightning. And now you can just train a bunch of knights and use them quite freely. Now, the only unit I haven't gone over is archers, ice archers. They can do good, but they're spot freezing, but they don't retaliate. And so at that point, Moonies are a little better because you can splash freeze. Or you just get Gamis. Yeah, I don't know if ice archers are always the way to go. I've used them in some cases, but when you start doing this right here and you're really hitting the riding and roads and knights really hard in sleds, the archers just can't really keep up, and you are just now laying on the pressure with faster moving units. So there you go, you just snipe in like that. And the ice is taken over. In fact, I think that is the entire square is ours now. And you can see how much that knight moves from there all the way over to there. And even riders. So Polaris can move very quickly once you get up to this level of economics, dominance, ice coverage, right? They're very hard to slow down because our Snowball is fully formed. Again, I really want to show you knights and just look how much of the map you can take with a Polaris knight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So fast. And there you go. It's awesome. And I don't know why I'm just now noticing that Polaris also has a blue background instead of just the standard black. Are they doing this for more tribes? I'm gonna have to look into this further. Let me know if you know, but like, is Semanti green? I know Solaris is red. If you look at my last video, Solaris has a red background. Now Polaris is blue. Does anyone else have other ones? Like, is the Midnight Skin purple? I don't know. But there's the basics for Polaris. Be fast, use ice, and get to that ice bank and start to roll that economy where then you can just lay on the pressure of forces that are just coming in way from the back and hitting really hard. If you like this video, give it a like. And if you want to join this amazing channel, hit the subscribe button to see more content every week. Next week, I'm doing a music tier list, which is going to be awesome. I put in quite a bit of work into it, but I pushed it off because I felt like the Polaris stuff was a lot more timely because everybody's getting into it with the Solaris skin. So please stay tuned for next week with an awesome new tier list, and we will see you in the next one.